Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to add the floor tiles in our model. So to add the floor tiles, I would recommend that you add it on the finished floor. As you can see in our elevation, we have a slab top and we have our finished floor level. So let's go to our finished floor level. Now you can notice that our DWG file goes away because it was placed on the slab top level and not on the finished floor level. So if I go to my 3D view, you can notice that this DWG file lies on the slab top level, right? And our finished floor level is 2 inches above the slab top level. So we do not see what is below this level. In case you're wondering why you do not see your DWG file, it only lies on the level you placed it on. All right, so with that out of the way, let's start adding our floor tiles. Now to add our floor tiles, I'm going to switch to medium so that I can see the structural layer as well. Now, what I would recommend is that you remove the layers from these walls. We will add these additional plaster layers later when we're doing the detail modeling. So let's select the wall, click on edit structure, and let's remove the plaster finish for now. Perfect. This way I can select the wall edges faster, and generally your floor tile starts from the structural edge and not from the plaster edge. That's very important to know when it comes to construction of the building. Now let's create our floor. So let's go to architecture, click on floor here. Now you can notice we do not have the right type to add into this space. So we'll need to edit this type. We can duplicate this. We can call this floor tile 600 or 2 feet by 2 feet. You can also add a color if you like, or the material type if you know the material. Then let's click on edit here. Let's change the structure to 2 inches. So it's 2-inch thick. Change the material here as well. So right now it's concrete cast in place. Let's click on this box here to open the material editor. Now in the material browser, what we can do is we can add a new material. We can rename this, call this floor tile 2 feet by 2 feet. And then what you need to do is you can either replace this with a suitable material from your asset browser. So for example, when I search for tile here, we have a textile slate blue, ceiling tile, and tiles 4x1. Now it's important to understand what sort of material you add into this or replace this material with. For example, you can see that textile slate blue is an appearance material, which means that you can replace the entire floor tile with this material by clicking here. And then you replace the settings of this material with our new material here. But there are also other types of materials. For example, we have here tile ceramic floor, and this is only a thermal setting of the material. So you cannot replace this material with the thermal settings, but rather you can add to the asset. So when I click on add here, you can notice that thermal gets added to this material. Similarly, physical as well. If you want to add a physical entity into your material, you can search for tile, and we have a tile porcelain physical entity, and we could add this in as well. So you can notice physical gets added, thermal gets added, and so on. And if you want to remove it, you can simply right click here and click on delete. Perfect. Now what we can do is we can go to graphics and make sure we are using render appearance. And then to show the tiles in our floor plan, what we need to do is we need to add a surface pattern to our foreground. So we can click here. We need to add a model hatch so that we can select from which point we will be laying the tiles. So let's select model hatch. And let's select the suitable hatch from here. Now, if you do not find your suitable hatch, you can create a new fill pattern. Let's call this tile 2 feet by 2 feet. This can be a cross hatch. Angle can be 0. And the spacing can be 2 feet by 2 feet. Now let's add this in. Let's change the color as well. Let's make it a bit darker. Let's click on apply and let's click on OK to close. Now we've just created the type. Now we need to place the floor in place as well. So what we can do is we can select the structural lines. So click on pick lines and select the structural lines here. Now, of course, when you click on finish edit mode, you get an error because it is not a closed loop. So make sure it is a closed loop. And then click on finish edit mode. Now, if you do not see your flow pattern, It may have to do with your visibility settings. So tap VV to open your visibility settings, or you can go to View and click on Visibility Settings here. And then what you need to do is you need to go to your flow category, and you can notice that our patterns are hidden. So simply click on this option and make sure you click on Clear Overrides. So when you click on Clear Overrides, you can notice that our background pattern gets added and our foreground pattern. So now you can notice that we've added our floor into the model, and this is a 2-inch thick floor. Now if you want to indicate the exact point from which this floor is starting, for example from this point or maybe from this point, what you can do is you can use the Align tool. So AL, click on the edge which you want to start the tile from, and then click on this tile line. Similarly here as well. And then now you can notice that this is the start point of laying the tile, and this is how we proceed with laying the tile in this plan. So I've just created one material. Now what you can do is you can duplicate this type, and you can call this, let's say, 1 foot by 1 foot. You can edit the type and you can change the material. So in order to change the material, you can either do material. Let me duplicate the material and its assets. Let's call this 1 foot by 1 foot, and let's edit the tile pattern. So you need to click on duplicate, call this 1 foot by 1 foot again, and then simply change the line spacing to 1 foot by 1 foot. The thickness is 2 inches, which is right. And now we can place this floor as well. So to place this floor, oh, by the way, I changed the floor here. So I'll need to set my other floor here. And to create a new floor, simply go to Architecture and click on Floor. Select the right type from this list. Make sure you're placing it on finished floor and not on your slab top. So I'm placing it on finished floor. And then let's pick our wall lines here. Now generally you pick the inner lines of the door as well, in case you do not have a frame here. Perfect. And we can click on Finish Edit Mode to finish placing our lines. Now what's also a good idea is to set the starting point. So in this case, I can set the starting point here, and make sure you select the right line. So use the Tab key on your keyboard to cycle through the selections and select the right line. Perfect. Now only the bathroom tile is missing. You can go ahead and create the bathroom tile here as well. That's how you add floor tiles in Revit. In the next video, we'll add some furniture so that it looks good in Revit as well. So see you guys next video. Cheers. By the way, I'm going to do a time lapse of creating the floor tiles for the bathroom as well. So you can stick around or you can jump to the next video.